Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to WrestleLine. I'm your host, John Scott, joined as always by my co-host, Matt Essex. And, we're going to go through a few things this evening. We are coming out live, so feel free to email the show as we are on. Have got quite a lot of emails before then anyway, but if you do want to email us, it's wrestleline@gmail.com. And of course, we're going to be talking all things Elimination Chamber from last night in WWE. Plus, talking about the upcoming Raw and SmackDown. Of course, we've still got another pay-per-view to go. We've got to go through Fastlane yet before we even really, truly get on that sort of road to WrestleMania. It seems like there's a lot of stuff to happen yet. Plus, of course, all the other news and stuff been coming out. In fact, in the last 48 hours, we'll try and cover as much as we can. And of course, as the show normally rolls on a Monday night, we always end with a bit of fresh news as the show's on. So I'll be keeping tabs with that. But going to bring Matt in there. And Matt, how you doing? And I take it you viewed all of the Elimination Chamber as much as our listeners have. Got to be honest with you, Matt. Going into this one, I just didn't put any expectations on this one. So to be fair, I was really cold going into this. But what was you like going into this event, Matt? Given the sort of build up and everything else since the Royal Rumble.
I feel like these gimmick matches, they kind of do draw me in a little bit. Even though we do get the annual now Elimination Chamber, and it's really, a guarantee you're going to get a whole event based around it. But I feel like, much like you, I didn't hold out on many expectations. I just went into it and thought, well, we'll see how it goes. But the one thing that did stand out on the card, of course, was that there was going to be some history made, wasn't there? Because the first ever women's tag team titles was up for grabs on this night. So that was the main thing I was looking forward to, probably coming into this. So I suppose we'll get onto that in a little bit. But I think it's best to do it the way you did. Just don't come in with expectations anymore, because too often, these pay-per-views don't really live up to the hype.
Yeah, it's a shame you have to think like that, but I guess that's how it is. I just I don't know. I thought we were kind of. I remember reading last year. I thought WWE were done with having the gimmick pay-per-views, and that they were going to try and get away from that. But obviously, here we are, Elimination Chamber back on again. So obviously, that's not ended yet. So anyway, the show coming from Houston, Texas, last night in the Toyota Center. So it was back in Texas again, but of course the pre-show, Matt, I completely missed this, but I do have it on good authority from the listeners that this was a very decent match, and I'm guessing like most matches that go on the pre-show, Matt, that it fouled slightly because apparently some of the listeners said it was the same curse as the fans are trying to roll in as the match is going on, and there's some sort of build up in the middle of it. But Buddy Murphy, Matt, I mean, he's getting a lot of rep these days, and since he's won that from the Super Showdown from last year, he seems like he's gone strength to strength. How much do you rate Buddy Murphy in general, Matt?
Well, he's one of those guys as well that's been there quite a while now, longer than a lot of people think, and they've obviously seen something in him. That's why he's stuck around this long, but it's paid off because the move to 205 Live was just right for him. I mean, when you look at him as well, physically he is one of the bigger competitors on 205 Live, which does give him sort of more of a dominating presence compared to the other people on there anyway, which is it's done wonders for his image. And of course his skills in the ring, they've increased exponentially as well. I mean, the guy just keeps getting better and better every time I see him. He's definitely sort of caught my eye and turned me into a bit of a fan, because I do like his style, and I think it's good now that his time is finally arrived and he gets to showcase himself a bit. It's kind of one of those Cinderella stories, isn't it, where someone was kind of overlooked and you think that they could have been cut at any moment, but then just got the right break at the right time, and now he's like totally nailing it now. 205.
And as far as the match goes, Matt, how was it? A decent outing? I believe it went over 13 minutes worth.
Yeah, I mean, finally they get a decent amount of time to showcase, and Tozawa, of course, he's been there for a while now. He's definitely great as well. So they had some good chemistry on the night, and I enjoyed it. I feel like if 205 can keep delivering matches like this, they should really have a spot on the main kind of card, because it was too good of a match to really be pre-show, and there was a lot worse matches on the main card.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was the pre-show. Of course, we had the usual panel of people. Jonathan Coachman, one of them. Of course, he's sort of been relegated to that position at the moment. Bev Phoenix, Booker T, my friend. Oh, man. It's a statement. And Sam Roberts was on there as usual as well. So the usual peeps that were there. And, of course, for the 205, Nigel McGuinness was out there. I just want to talk about one person. I'm not sure if I spoke about him last time, Matt, but I have to mention this because I didn't mention it last time, and a lot of the listeners had kind of been writing in, giving this guy's praise, and I completely forgot it last time. Aidan English, Matt. Apparently, do you know what? I've got to say, I can't really give a decent perspective on this, but they are saying he should be a main announce guy. He's that good. Is he that good, Matt?
Oh, yeah. Now you said people are saying that, I'm going to sound bad, because I don't like his announcement. Controversial maybe. I mean, some people, it's probably one of those guys you either like him or you don't like him. I think his voice is a bit too distinct, a bit too deep, and I think a lot of the time when I've seen him on 205 Live, it seems to be a lot of the arguments that happen on an announce table seem to be stemming from his views and things that he's saying. So I kind of feel like the way that he does it distracts too much from the matches in the ring.
Sure. Well, I'll have to check him out a bit more to give my opinion on that. But on the other hand, we definitely have a lot of listeners that seem to be big fans of him and Nigel, actually, to be fair. But they're saying that they're better now than the Raw team. But I'll have to check that out. Anyway, let's move on to the main show then, shall we? And they started, of course, with what Matt mentioned earlier, this history. Of course, the word they love to throw out, Matt, evolution, is another evolution, apparently. I don't know how many we're going to get by the end of all this, but another one happened, Matt, where this revolution, evolution, whatever you want to call it, where we have, of course, Bayley and Sasha Banks. We've got, of course, Carmella and Naomi are in there. We've got Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Nia Jax and Tamina. The Iconics, of course, they're there as well. And, of course, the Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. But, this for, of course, the first ever women's tag team titles inside the Elimination Chamber. A lot sort of going into this. I guess the expectations were quite high on this, as you'd expect. I got to see most of this match. This is the one match that I did see the most of, and I was very, very impressed with everything that was going on. I didn't really think it was going to live up to the expectations, because sometimes when they put all this sort of build up into it, you are half thinking, is it going to work? Of course, we had some of the reports, Matt, about Sasha Banks. Was she fully fit? Who knows? But I managed to get through it, Matt. And in the end, a match that went 33 minutes, definitely a decent time. I think most people will probably say, Matt, that the right team won for a change. It's been a long time coming. I think you'll agree, but it's the boss and hug connection. Not sure what I think of that, but in other words, Bayley and Sasha Banks walk out as the history-making first ever women's tag team champions, and at least some gold has gone their way. Better than having nothing. What did you make of the first ever, this tag team sort of now being crowned, and what did you make of the match, Matt?
I thought it was a great match, and a good way to kick off the show as well. You get these kind of moments in WWE, you have to savour them when they come along, because sometimes they're few and far between, when you don't necessarily have to be in the arena to kind of get the vibe, feel the crowd's reaction to the way things are going in the ring. And I think this is one of those matches where you was there with the journey the whole way. The match was paced correctly. I feel like there wasn't people just blowing up too soon and expending all their moves. I think people came in and interrupted pinfalls and all that at the right moments, kept the interest there.
Sure.
Excitement was high, and like you said, it's a shame that Sasha was suffering with some sort of injury, and we've known this for the last few weeks because she's had limited kind of in-ring time or been ruled out for injuries and all of that. But yeah, I feel like they worked around that well. It wasn't that noticeable. I mean, there was about 5 minutes where she was absent from the ring, but you can understand that in the circumstance. And I feel like the ending to the match, that was well played into as well, given the injury that she was like portrayed to have on the shoulder, that you could adapt it to use your foot as well. That was another interesting thing. So I feel like it's one of those things where, like you said, it went to the right people, because this is something that they've been pulling for, like Sasha and Bayley, even before people were talking about women's tag team belts. This has been years that they would be talking about this kind of thing. So to finally be in that mix and actually be awarded it for themselves, there's no better two people to give it to, really. I mean, I know there are other tag teams in this match, like Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, who obviously have a great chemistry, and they've been a tag team even when there was nothing to gain from being tag team in the women's division, because they've been together all the way through it. So yeah, I feel like I thoroughly enjoyed the match, and if we're going to score it on ratings, just because it's the first ever as well, you're never going to see something like that again. I'd give it 4.5, I'd say, out of 5.
Big marks from Matt. I have written down 4 here, so Matt's gone all out on this one. But yeah, it was a fantastic match, and like Matt said, you're not going to get to see it again. So I like I say, I don't think there's much more you could have asked for. I think if there was one thing I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of, Matt, it would have been WWE to somewhat protect, going into this, some of these sort of early results that were going on through advertising. I mean, it was a terrible job leading into this pay-per-view with the women's tag team, because posters had gone up when they weren't supposed to, and you know who's going to be in it before it's actually even the qualifying things happen. So that really gets on my nerves when that happens, and WWE have to be much more careful with things like that going forward, really, because it really does take you out of the moment that any of this is really relevant to even need to watch Raw sometimes when they do stuff like that. So yeah, I think the right team win. I'm gonna read out one of our listeners whilst we're here, Mac. Leah, she emailed us in and said, I really enjoyed the women's elimination tag match, but do you guys think it lived up to the hype? And what does this mean for Bayley and Sasha going forward? So I think we pretty much said, Matt, it did live up to the hype. Going forward, Matt, Sasha and Bayley, I mean, is this like, I hope we're not going to get on Raw tonight and then they lose them or something stupid like that. We've seen that sort of thing happen before, haven't we? Is this now, Matt, where now they leave the belts on these two, where they go to WrestleMania and, maybe defend it against, somebody, another team of some sort, or what we don't want, Matt, I guess, is a scenario where they go to WrestleMania but they don't actually defend it at all. That'd be a disaster. But do you think that WWE will push this now, Matt, going into WrestleMania?
Oh yeah, I think the interest is there now. I think it's the newest title, so of course it's going to be on people's tongues right now as they're talking about it. But I feel like to let any of that slip away, the interest that's there now would be a shame, and I do think it's going to still gather momentum towards WrestleMania, because WWE do like to show off their women's revolution or evolution, whatever they want to call it these days. But I feel like it's going to be a great tool as well for them to use, because we have the SmackDown women's title and the Raw women's title, but now we have this other kind of tag team title which can get people over without necessarily having to go down the singles path. And we've all known for a long time that Sasha and Bayley are probably two of the best people that women wrestlers that WWE have right now. So the fact that they've been so overlooked for so long, they're well due their time to shine, and this is that moment now. And I hope that they do hold these belts for quite some time, because they're definitely two people that deserve to be at the top. So I feel like they can go through a lot of tag teams. I mean, there's obviously the current roster ones, but there's other ones down on NXT like Io Shirai and and what's the other one? Pirate.
Yeah.
Her name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I feel like when they do come up as well,